If you follow my channel closely, you might have noticed some common investments every rich person makes. Typically, their most significant purchase is an ultra-luxurious, comfortable, classy, and most importantly, secluded home. We've discussed many mansions worth dozens of millions of dollars, yet all of them pale in comparison with the top 5 largest mansions in America. Welcome to Wealth Only. Before we take a tour of these astounding architectural gems, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and remember to tell us which mansion impressed you the most in the comments below. Number 5. The Modern Versailles. What better way to kick off this list than with a house designed after a genuine European palace, the Palace of Versailles in France. The Modern Versailles is yet to be finished, as it has been under construction for the past 18 years. This behemoth of a home is owned by the Segal family, who built their massive fortune through selling timeshares. Even before this astounding house is finished, it's the 4th most expensive property in the US, valued at around $100 million. The Versailles is roughly about a 90,000 square foot building. The work on this lavish mansion began in 2004, but the 2008 financial crisis hit the Segal family hard and the construction had to be paused. Back then, the property was listed for sale at $65 million, but no one wanted to buy it due to the economic situation. In 2013, the construction was continued and is expected to be finished later this year. To say that no expenses were spared in building this dream manor would be an understatement. The Versailles lays on top of an artificial hill of 100 acres on the forefront of Lake Butler. The colossal palace will accommodate 11 kitchens, though I can't imagine why anyone would need more than one. The house will also have 14 bedrooms, 3 indoor swimming pools, and another 2 outside. Of course, no modern palace can be finished without an entertainment center. This house is planned to have a separate arcade room, a 2-lane bowling alley, and a private 2-story movie theater to make it more comfortable. The mansion will have a private elevator that will take the Segals from the master bedroom to the closet. I can only imagine that Jackie Segal has already paid several $millions to the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra to compose and play the annoying elevator music for her private lift. To finish off the luxurious look of this colossal house, there will be an aquarium filled with exotic fish, a stunning garden, 2 tennis courts, and even a baseball diamond. The cherry on top will be the lavish ballroom inspired by the genuine Versailles in France. In the Segar home, the ballroom will have the capacity to accommodate up to 1,000 guests and is promised to be lavishly decorated. The materials used for the construction of this mega mansion don't come cheap. The wood for this Florida palace comes from some of the last legal Brazilian mahogany, worth over $4 million. In addition, an astounding amount of marble worth several million had to be imported as well. When the home is finished, it may easily become the most expensive home in the United States. Number 4. Arden House. At the turn of the 20th century, Edward Henry Harriman, a railroad tycoon, paid the colossal for the time $52,500 to build the house of his dreams. That is equivalent to roughly $1.75 million in today's money. Due to its size, luxurious setting, and most important historical value, the Arden House is probably worth in the hundreds of millions today. This stunning 97,188 square foot home has become the epitome of unwavering class with its dozens of priceless art pieces, sculptures, tapestries, and lavish decorations. The mansion, though gigantic, takes just one small piece of the whole 355 acres of state. In it, there is a private 125-acre lake, which admittedly takes the thrill of skinny dipping, but it opens a lot of possibilities for private yachting, fishing, and all sorts of other water-related activities away from the public eye. The rest of this enormous land is covered with greenery and forests, along with a large pool, tennis courts, and other amenities one could enjoy. The home itself is an architectural masterpiece. The manor was built in the chateau-esque style with imposing stonework affirming eminence, class, and wealth. The interior is just as impressive. Arden House has 97 guest rooms, each with luxurious furniture, a unique setting, and ready to accommodate your every desire. Outside of the rooms, there is a remarkable display of impeccable taste, as the corridors are covered with brickwork and marble, creating beautiful figures. At the same time, vivid pieces of art like tapestries, paintings, and statues make your walk around the mansion as if you were at a museum or an art gallery. The huge French windows overlooking the scenic nature outside allow natural light to illuminate this marvelous display of wealth. The manor is without a doubt done with a lot of refined taste and comfort in mind. The sitting room is one of the highlights of this magnificent architectural piece of art. Its design has only one task: to be impressive. The luxurious royal red-colored drapings alone give this room a majestic vibe. However, the grandeur design, the oak woodwork, and imported tapestries alongside the comfortable designer furniture and relaxing setting make this room the epitome of how wealth, taste, and high class can create a masterful piece of art from any room. However, the cherry on top of this splendid manor is the music room. It was designed after medieval grand halls. The balcony and ceiling are decorated with stone carvings. A set of 1 large and 4 smaller chandeliers fill the room with light. The music room is heavily inspired by the music rooms in European castles and palaces. Although this magnificent building was once used only by a single family, now it's the property of the Research Center on Natural Conservation, which uses it for conferences and relaxation. Not precisely the ultra-luxurious existence this magnificent house deserves, in my humble opinion. Number 3. The One. After bringing some questionable movies like DNA, The Patriot, and Resurrection to the big screen, Niall the Army decided to go after something that he actually had a talent for: real estate development. So after several multi-million-dollar sales, like 2 houses in Holmby Hills worth $44 million and $39 million respectively, the Army took upon creating his dream home. That's how The One came to life. After nearly 10 years of construction, the Bel Air mega mansion was finished in early 2021. The wait, however, was truly worth it. The 105,000 square foot mansion is a genuine luxurious heaven with lavish decorations, amenities, and comfort that only millions of dollars can buy. The One has 20 bedrooms, 30 bathrooms, 2 massive dining rooms, and a state-of-the-art kitchen that can be the envy of even the most luxurious restaurants. There is also a parking garage for 30 cars. While these amenities would be enough for the masses to call The One their dream home, the Army dreamt bigger. He commissioned an astonishing wine cellar in his home capable of holding up to 10,000 bottles. Can you imagine a millionaire's home without a swimming pool? Well, The One has 5 of them. For those who prefer to stay dry, there is a bowling alley, a private casino, and its very own nightclub. Of course, it wouldn't be a film producer's dream house if there wasn't a private movie theater. The only downside is you probably have to watch some of the Army's movies. Believe me though, that is a small price to pay for having the chance to visit this architectural masterpiece. If all of this doesn't scream of extravagance, some of the walls are actually aquariums filled with glowing jellyfish. Hearing all of this, it would be quite surprising to learn that the home has a strictly minimalist design with marble walls and glass panels. They're worth several $100,000 on its own. The furniture is anything but extravagant, as the whole house has a neat and clean vibe. When it was finished, the home was worth $500 million, making it the most expensive mansion in America. However, in October 2021, the Army went bankrupt and the property value dropped significantly. In January 2022, it was listed for $295 million. If you've started counting the coins in your pocket to see if you can afford this dream house, I'd have to disappoint you. Just a few days ago, on March 4th, 2022, this palace was sold for merely $127 million. Number 2. Oheka Castle. Built on the highest point of the prime Long Island area, Oheka Castle is the second biggest mansion in America, named after the acronyms of its first owner, Otto Herman Kahn. This architectural masterpiece has the size of 2 White Houses. The 109,000 square foot house was built in 1919 and became the inspiration behind the Great Gatsby novel, as it represented this fabulous lifestyle back then. Otto Kahn invested the equivalent of $158 million in creating this lavish manor where he often gathered around 600 of his closest friends. As absurd as that sounds. After Kahn's death, the property changed hands several times, and in the late 70s, Oheka Castle was abandoned. Gary Milius took this lavish home out of oblivion for less than $1.5 million. Just 5 years later, he invested another $37 million into restoring this magnificent piece of American history in its original shape. To this day, this is the most expensive renovation in the U.S. Milius spared no expense to recreate Otto Kahn's vision during the renovation, as he replaced all 222 windows and doors with exact replicas. In addition, the new owner spent a fortune restoring the marble floors and original railings. The whole building was heavily influenced by French culture, a bit weird for a German-born investment banker at the start of the 20s, but I'm not here to judge. Once you set foot through the main gate, you will see an astonishing dual staircase with priceless hand-wrought iron railings. To this day, the railings are still in their place, although it took more than 18 months to restore them. Today, the home entrance is a replica of how it looked during the Roaring '20s, with breathtaking chandeliers hanging above the staircase and classy decoration all around. The ballroom, where once parties went from dusk till dawn and beyond, now is a restaurant. The rest of the house is a hotel, where guests are treated like royalty in the 127 rooms. There are all sorts of pamperments and luxuries. However, one of the biggest changes is the newly designated man cave that the new owner made for himself, costing around $200,000. This secluded space had to be literally carved in the concrete. Now it's the favorite place of owner Gary Milius. After all, it's the only place where he can enjoy his cigars without being yelled at by his wife. Gary, though, kept untouched most of the Oheka Castle, as the library, the schoolroom, the lounge, terraces, and corridors remain as they were built in 1919. However, the prized possession of this extraordinary house is the original inside pool, a commodity that was unheard of when it was first built. The home is surrounded by 443 acres of greenery. The English gardens are a genuine piece of art. Moreover, they are accompanied by a private golf course, which only underlines the sophistication of this establishment. Thankfully, you can visit this magnificent piece of American history as it allows tours. Moreover, you can even become a part of the lavish lifestyle Otto Kahn once had by staying a night or two at this majestic mansion. Number 1. Biltmore Estate. Finally, we have the 178,926 square foot Biltmore Estate, the biggest mansion ever built in America. This gigantic home is located in Asheville, North Carolina, and was built over 120 years ago to accommodate George Washington Vanderbilt's family. While other homes on this list cost astonishing amounts of money, Vanderbilt's castle had a whole industry working for its construction. While it's hard to estimate how much this Herculean endeavor would have cost, it's safe to say that it would be equivalent to several $1 billion in today's money. A woodworking factory, a brick kiln, a railroad, and 60 stone masons had to be built for this lavish palace to come into existence. Over 1,000 workers worked every day for 3 years to create this magnificent piece of architecture. The grandeur of this jaw-dropping mansion can be seen before you even set a foot inside. The facade is covered in ornaments, gargoyles, trefoils, flowing tracery, and more. This, however, pales in comparison with the main staircase, where a 3-story high decorated winding balustrade with statues of St. Louis and Joan of Arc is situated. Famous Austrian sculptor Karl Bitter carved the sculptures himself. The 125,000 acres of surrounding parks, gardens, and landscape were entrusted to Friedrich Law Olmsted, the designer behind Central Park in New York. Along with the cultivated gardens, there is an outdoor tea room, a conservatory, fountains, stables, several ponds, and a lagoon, which was once used as a fishing and rowing place. If you're impressed by the outside, just wait to get in. The Winter Garden on its own is worth as much as a whole house in Asheville with its unique design, breathtaking decorations, rare flowers, and the priceless bronze boy stealing geese fountain. The Vanderbilts knew how to show off their wealth. While some small-time millionaires may have garages full of luxury cars, in this massive house, there is a 90-foot-long room filled with 16th century tapestries. Not as flashy, I agree, but definitely a better investment since these tapestries are now practically priceless, as are the 10,000 books in 8 languages in the library. This is not simply a room, but an exhibition model of its own. The 2-story high library is as if taken out of a fairy tale or a Harry Potter book. Baroque detailing, magnificent fireplace, and priceless furniture make this room a paradise for any bookworm. In Biltmore, you can find one of the biggest chandeliers in the world. The 4-story high handcrafted piece of art that holds 72 light bulbs is hanging beside the grand staircase. Of course, one of the most lavish rooms in this castle is the master bedroom. Just as in European castles, George's bedroom was connected to his wife's. What they did at night, I will leave it to your imagination. Nonetheless, both rooms are a testament to Vanderbilt's class and unwavering taste with uniquely designed furniture, breathtaking decorations, and stylish pieces of art hanging from the walls. Going through all 250 rooms and explaining in detail all the lavish decorations and astounding furniture will take approximately a month or so. The mansion has 35 bedrooms, 43 bathrooms, and 3 kitchens. By now, you're probably wondering where all these people eat. Why? In the banquet hall, of course. Ready to accommodate 60 guests, this one-of-a-kind interior piece of art is famous for its triple fireplace decorated with stone carvings and tapestries on both sides. Several massive chandeliers hang from the magnificently decorated 70-foot high ceiling. Not the safest place to eat, in my opinion, but definitely one of the fanciest. In addition, there are a total of 65 fireplaces to make this colossal building cozier during the winter, as well as a 70,000-gallon heated swimming pool, a bowling alley, and a gym fitted with top-notch equipment for the end of the 19th century. That is, there is a whole wing dedicated to entertainment, elegantly called the Bachelor's Wing. It accommodates a billiard room, a smoking room, and of course, a haunting room. This home is not a place that mere words can represent. One needs to visit it to feel the royal taste and luxury the Vanderbilts lived in. Thankfully today, their home is a museum, so visiting it won't be an issue. In 2017, the property was estimated to be worth $157.2 million for tax purposes. However, its market value is well over several $billion. This home is truly priceless with its old tapestries, furniture, and art collection. So those were the 5 biggest mansions in America. Which one would you prefer to call your home? Let me know in the comments below.